So in this last video that I just recorded about watching the party die and Young Thug and all of his chatty patty behavior on the jail phone while he was facing trial, I mentioned at the end of the video about the boycott of Drake. I kind of haphazardly mentioned why I was not in favor of a boycott, and really I should have just refrained from doing that and made this video explaining my full opinion and position on how myself and others should approach Drake and his music moving forward. Boycott be damned. Let's get into it. Now, of course, this is going to be a video where I am replying to the comments a little bit and just giving my opinion on quote unquote boycotting Drake. Now, shout out to jalopy bungus, I believe is how you pronounce the user's name on YouTube. Go check his video out. He's the one I believe that started this. I'm not sure. I had to do some research. I hadn't done research at the time I made the video that I recorded on the watching the party die. But I was sent the video and it was explained through the comments. I'll read a few comments people left in that video in support of the boycott. And first things first, if you support it, I have no problem with that. I was just speaking on my position personally. I'm gonna explain why I don't think it's the best idea or approach for righting the ship in the culture, and if necessary, getting rid of Drake as a powerful and influential voice within the genre, and maybe positioning him or pushing him into another genre or another field of entertainment or whatever has to happen to get that done. Now, that is only if he continues to not refrain from his shenanigans, which I don't think he will. I think he will continue the shenanigans because he's just a little too arrogant and was never really real in the first place. But also, you know, anybody can be redeemed. Drake has not been convicted or accused of any major crimes yet. So I do not wish to defame his character or accuse him of anything on this channel at any time ever. This is an entertainment channel for entertainment purposes anyway. So let's continue. So shout out to everyone who commented on this and everybody who commented period on that video about watching the party die and Young Thug and all of his chicanery. Shout out to the Crown Gem 6683. She stated, I support the Iceman ban. Drake was striking those reaction channels for talking about his music, something I didn't know. So now nobody will review it and make it go viral. Drake only has himself to blame for where he is at this point in his career. And My Bad Bakery agreed. Mars Snobber said Drake is the type to think all attention is good attention. And it seems that attention is currency, so we should literally stop paying him and those around him. Pay Quentin Miller attention, pay the people behind the reference tracks attention, or pay the rappers who deserve your attention. Then the Gemstar 25 says, I agree, but some of the YouTubers won't give up that YouTube money, so they'll keep giving Drake attention, the attention he craves. I agree with that also. I'm gonna address all of those points, all valid points though. Now moving to the next comment, Holly B 3900 says that the boycott is just a suggestion not to stream and review his music during the first 14 days. That part I definitely wasn't clear on that part. But if people want to, nobody cares. I think people chose to feel some type of way when it was just someone saying we're going to do something and others can join in if they want. Nobody loses any respect for anyone over it, but there was no discussion of boycott on the antics he does and the fallout from them. People will still be plenty loud about that, and you bet I will for sure. Purple Haze 373 replied, the fact that the culture chooses not to reject Aubrey outright is incredible to me. He should have been canceled completely since the announcement of this ridiculous lawsuit, and everyone knows it. If the situation were reversed and this was Kendrick or any other rapper, the culture would be trashing, boycotting, condemning, and ultimately canceling that artist outright. I kind of disagree with that, but I'll address it. Her career would have been over. Bottom line, Aubrey gets away with everything that he has done to other artists. He exploits the system and no one holds him accountable. And we always have people too afraid to speak up and reject him. Now that part I strongly agree with And they continue, it's irritating how there's no collective action against Aubrey and this lawsuit. Now that I think is starting to happen. It may not be happening super fast, but it is happening. Now SEO Shogun posted, my understanding of this boycott is only reaction videos as far as not playing the songs. You don't play the songs anyway. She's talking about me personally, and most of the time I don't, but I do when I think it's pertinent to the album review. If I do an album review and I'm talking about the sound or the sonics of the song, I will play the records. And then DemSky83 simply comments copyright strikes, which if Drake does do that, which I can see him doing, that is definitely a thing. But my approach, first off, is I'm more in favor of this type of approach, and I'll just play this short clip of Kai Cenat and then explain more after that.
Biggest waste of my fucking time of all time. The biggest waste of my goddamn. RP to Armani. RP to Armani. RP to Armani. Yo, I can't fake it. I can't fake it. That was ass. I can't fake it. I can't fake it. I actually can't fake it. I actually can't fake it. That was so ass.
Now, that is more the approach and what I want to see people doing as far as the reactors are concerned. I understand the streaming part, but the streams that he gets from reactions to the album, especially if they are negative reactions like this one by Kai Cenat, just these posts on Twitter/X alone, as you see on the screen here, this post got 1.7 million views on it, 3.6K likes. I'm sure there was a lot of banter and back and forth in the comments. And some of the OV hosts are probably hating on Kai. Here's another post, got 2.4 million views and 14,000 likes. I think the reactors, their power is their voice, so they should not be silent, even though they're being attacked in a lawsuit. The way I came up and the way I go about conflict is to attack back. All right, not to be quiet, not to try to cripple Drake through streams, because I don't think that's not going to happen. The OV hoes, the people who are in Drake's corner, a lot of people relate to who he is and how he is. They're always going to support him. But I think, like I said in the other video, for the newcomers to the culture, and for people who are now into culture because of that battle, and because it was such a big thing, and because Not Like Us was such a mega song, and because Kendrick and SZA are now mega stars due to the tour, there's a lot of new ears coming to the culture. And I think the reactors giving honest opinions, which I think is what you're going to start to see about Drake's music, and having people understand why the music is not as great as people have made it seem to be in the past, is more effective. I think that boycotting Drake's album makes him appear to be bigger than he is, for one. When I think boycott, the first thing, me being an African-American person that was descendants of slaves, I think Montgomery bus boycott, which is one of the most important boycotts in the history of the world, right? And that was against the United States government. Drake is not to the level of the United States government. Drake is not to the level of major corporations. Putting boycott, to me, associated with his name in any kind of way, makes him larger than he actually is to me, okay? I have been in I'm older, so I've been in hip hop a long time. Drake is just another poppy hip hop artist. There have been many. Now, is he the most egregious from a sellout standpoint at this point in time in history? Yes, he is. But still, just for me, and yes, I can be too serious at times, associating the word boycott with such a frivolous thing as far as Aubrey's fall from grace, I don't like it. I just got to keep it real. To me, boycotts are going to be something we should get into in the upcoming, leading up to the upcoming election in 2028. I know that's a ways away, but no better time to start than now as far as companies who will support political parties, candidates, and regimes that are harmful to the American public at large. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not gonna get into that. This is a hip hop channel. And though I do agree that Aubrey is at the point where all attention is good attention for him, that is not the point you wanna be at as an entertainer. That's a desperate position to be in. When you're just looking for any entertainment, you're flailing for relevance at that point. Drake was a far cry from that in 2023, right? So for him to be in that position now, which I do agree that that is the position he's in, it's a great position because it's the position of a falling star. He's on his way out. So I think the more Kai and everybody else really gives their honest opinion, and they're able, because they were included in that lawsuit and things like that, it's easier for them to give their honest opinion because there's no benefit for them kowtowing and catering. As Kai said in that video, he can't fake it. At this point in time, he has a lot less reason to even try or attempt to. So with that being the case, we now get the real view of Drake, his music, and who he is as an artist, especially at this time. I just think, honestly, he was never as great as he was perceived to be. That's my personal opinion. But also his limitations as an artist are just being shown more because doing the same thing over and over again the well has run dry. But even with that being said, big artists have cult-like followings and fans. And if you look at R. Kelly is a perfect example with what he was convicted of. There are still people who defend R. Kelly. If you look at Diddy, there's still people who defend Diddy. This is just, I don't think Drake is getting special treatment. If it was Kendrick, I think there are Kendrick Lamar fans who would, if Kendrick did something or was accused of something crazy or was acting in the way Drake is acting, it'll be people who would still defend him. It's just, once you reach a certain level of star power, that's the way it is. I just think that Drake is a little less relatable to most of us who are deep in hip hop culture and in African American culture. So we just don't understand why people are standing by Drake the way they are. And I do agree that other artists need more attention. Quentin Miller especially, I'm glad he just released a song called Read Between the Lines. That sounds like something he probably wrote for Drake. And I think it makes it more clear that a lot of Drake's perceived talent and pen was in the hands of Quentin Miller. So those things happening all at the same time, I think, is where we need to be. But Boycott to me is kind of when you're coming from a point of weakness, or that your approach, that's an approach to a powerful entity, like a Target, which is $1 billion company. Drake is not important enough, in my opinion, for any kind of boycott or anything, even to be associated with that kind of word, right? Target is a $50 to $100 billion company. Drake has not generated that kind of revenue throughout his whole career. So that's just my point. He doesn't hold that kind of sway. That's all I was really trying to say. I just wanted to explain it further. And I think that, again, those of us with voices should attack and just be honest about it, not worried about people's streams, because these may be their last streams. All right? Iceman 3, to me, is Drake's swan song, whether he wants it to be or not. Now, I'm not saying he can't come back with a techno album or something like that and it goes crazy in Budapest. And you know what? I would be happy for him. As Styles P once said, we love you over there. But as far as this real hip hop culture and this real culture in the United States is concerned and across the world, as Drake once said himself, please believe your demise will be televised. Now, it should have been realized your demise will be televised if he was really like that with the mic, but he's really not. But we know that now, so it's all good. Getting back to the subject in hand. For the reactors, for the big reactors, I think they should fight back. For the small reactors, I would say, while Drake is popular, use him to boost your voice, especially if you have integrity and are just going to review the music honestly. That's what everybody should do. We shouldn't cut off our nose to spite our face. It's opportunity for people who need the opportunity. They should take it. Honest reactions of the Iceman 3 could catapult some very good reactors and reaction channels into a spotlight that they need. So yeah, though in theory, yes, a boycott sounds good. Like I said, those of us who don't like Drake are not going to listen to the record. I'm going to listen to it because I listen to hip hop music, and the boy ain't been convicted of any crimes yet. A lot of accusations out flying around, but those are just accusations. So just to be clear, YouTube, leave me alone. But that's all I got. That's all I got on this. I understand people are strongly against Drake, and rightfully so. In many cases, he's done a lifetime of egregious things in just this past year, as far as being a hip hop artist and being, quote unquote, supposedly a leader in hip hop and for the culture. Kind of sounds ridiculous now when you think about it and look back on this past year and all the things he has done. But he will continue to have fans, and that's okay. But his star is definitely falling, and streaming while honestly critiquing is the best approach, in my opinion. But that's all I got, man. Y'all already know what to do. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button yet. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Share this video, tell a friend and tell a friend. Comment below if you disagree. As you can see, though I will fight back sometimes if it's egregious. You OV hoes know that already. We will have a back and forth if I feel it necessary. But if you got good commentary, I can always be corrected on things. I can always expound on things. And I appreciate all comments, whether they be for or against my position, as long as they are mature and you're not trolling. So thank y'all for watching this always, and we out.